Okay. What to always open with okay. Let's try b6. So we have a live 3-minute game here. Let's go for a Hedgehog type setup, I guess. I'm more familiar with Hedgehog-ish setups with when the bishop is not in that spot. d6, e4. Play queen c7, safest move. I'm not gonna get hit with any tactics with e5 with my bishop being undefended. You'll see that theme in one of my pattern recognition videos. Taking the pawn is always risky, always risky. I can't really do that. Knight d5 is in the air, so we'll simply play solid moves here and hope to be okay. Rook c8, rook is on the open file, rook e8 or d8. Somehow like rook e8 a little more. Probably he wants to go a for a5. No, f3. In that case, we play queen b8. Now we can think about taking on c4. So I have to do something about that. So he plays knight, bishop back to f1. So why not knight e5? Renewing the threat. I'm hanging this pawn, but okay, he has to take care of this one first. Plays knight b1. I'll bring the other knight to protect the b6 pawn. I kind of want him to go f4. Trying to initiate some weaknesses. For instance, this pawn is hanging, which he seems to miss. Even though he's rated 2300. Okay, this knight goes back to a8 and queen b7 is looming large. So I'll play that. If bishop g2, I'll take it. Take on c4. He can't really allow queen h1, so he doesn't really have a choice. So it looks like our opponent has made a rather bad blunder. Oh, what is this? I'll play. Okay, I can play queen f. Or he just resigns. So yeah, I can play queen f3, queen h1, like this. Just check the pawn, etc. Okay, he doesn't have a move, so it's
checkmate.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's made in 3 or 4 moves there. It's made in 4 moves. Queen f3. So also queen f3, but okay. If you see a good move, look for a better move. I had a time advantage, so no need to rush. So we had, okay, I played b6, and this enables me to play the Hedgehog. Oh, sorry about that. The Hedgehog setup. And the following, why does the mouse move? So castles, I apologize for that. So the following moves are quite normal here. Let's be careful. So knight c3, a6. Don't want him to jump to b5. Not really necessary, but I'm gonna play this move anyway, and I think it's a decent move here. Rook e1. Now the thing we have to be careful about is something like this: e4, d6, d4 takes, and in case of castles, there's e5. And black loses the exchange, because if you take on g2, this pawn takes f6. Material is equal, but there are 2 black pieces attacked. We cannot save both of them at the same time. So after e5, the best black can do is sacrifice the exchange. If you play rook a7, there's knight c6, I think. And okay, if knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, white is up a piece. If queen takes d1, Swiss and Zug, knight takes d7 check, king h1, Then we take the queen. He takes our piece. Everything is equal. And I would have thought we would get our dots here, but the knight looks trapped. Is that really the case? Okay, I was just going by pattern recognition there. Perhaps knight c6 is not entirely necessary. We can also simply maybe just play knight takes e6. Might be the best move. Attacking the queen. If you take. Now you have to take something. Probably this one. And now we go back. Yeah, we're not top of the exchange, but we have a huge positional advantage. We have the bishop pair. The black pawn structure is severely damaged. And we get access to this nice e4 square for a knight. Bishop e3 looming large. Yeah, this looks like the way to go. So if we go back here, in case of d takes e5, let's turn on the engine. Bishop takes b7. Oh, what happened? Yeah, d takes e5. Bishop takes b7. In case of rook a7. If you take here, okay, black has some compensation, but white is up the exchange. So perhaps that is indeed the best course of action to take on d4. So let's go back. What does the computer say? It wants to take on d4. And as you can see, it gives +1 for white. Okay, now it's changing to rook a7. Back to e takes d4. But you see the depth is only 13, 14, now it's 15. It's not a lot of depth, so it's going to change its mind. So e takes d4, we take on a8. We're up the exchange. Black has some compensation, but white should be good. In case of rook a7, I thought knight takes e6, but now it's saying knight c6. Did I miss something here? Queen takes d1. Knight takes e7. King h8. Knight takes d1. What's the difference? Wow, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. And if rook takes b7, we play b3. And we want our bishop on a3. I completely missed this idea, and this idea gives white a winning position. It's going to be at the exchange for only one pawn. Black's not going to have enough compensation. So okay, we went slightly off course there, but you always have to keep this trick in mind. The undefended bishop on b7 in Hedgehog. I already did a video on this in the pattern recognition series, and let's see what I did. I was fully aware of this trick, so queen c7 protecting the bishop on b7, so no e5 tricks. Maybe you can play e5, but there are no tricks. With d4 took, we have a standard hedgehog here, and this is what we call a hedgehog. And why do we call it that? Because just like a hedgehog, you know, it has these spikes that are ready to hit you whenever you come too close. So a solid position, a constricted structure that's flexible and ready to strike if needed. So black castles. Okay, white is slightly better, but I mean, he has to prove he's better. The computer is saying he's better because he has a space advantage, but once the game progresses, you have to prove something for white. And we've seen many great players take the black side here, like Anderson, Lubojevic, I think even Karpov. Great players, really. Knight bd7. I'm playing normal hedgehog moves here. b3. Well, he plays b4. Okay. And now the computer likes my move, knight e5. That's a drunk 95. 95 is coming here. Putting pressure on c4. But I didn't. I played rook c8 first. Okay. I didn't play like a computer here. Did I do it now, or did I play queen b8? Played rook e8. Should have played 95. Put pressure on c4. Okay. What happens? He plays f3. Queen b8. Okay. On the fourth try, I play 95, but now the computer thinks d5 is better for black. Another standard idea, and one that I missed. The b pawn is hanging. Should have noticed, but now I'm playing 95. The idea that worked earlier, but maybe it's not as strong right now. Let's see. Plays knight b1, which is a little bit passive, but does protect his weakness. And okay, while it's only depth 14, the computer is saying I should play e5 here. And actually, with the backward development, it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of dynamic potency in the black position. This is hanging. We got pressure with this bishop on diagonal on this pawn. Boom, boom, boom. Pressure on c4. Blah, blah, blah. Everything's happening. So maybe d5 would have been the thematic move there. But okay, I wanted to see f4, which he played. Now a4, but this hangs a pawn. So I just took it. 92. Well, knight c3. I retreat. And now I want my queen on the long diagonal. And he can't really do anything because once he goes bishop g2, this will hang. And I will be up 2 pawns. So queen to 2 and of course queen b7. That's what I did. Same deal. If he puts anything on g2, I take twice. c4 hangs. Up 2 pawns. And the pawn is hanging. So what can he do? He played king f2, but that's made in 4. So he resigned. So that's the potency of the Hedgehog formation. Hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.